Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Fight Podcast. I'm joined once again by James, but unfortunately, we do not have Jake with us again today. But the show must go on, so let's get straight into it. We had a cracking event this past weekend. We had the UFC 260 in Ngannou versus Stipe, and I thought it was a very exciting event. How was your feelings towards the fight week, James?
Yeah, well, like last week, we were all quite excited about the fight and how it was going to go, and it didn't disappoint. It was unbelievable. I enjoyed it very much. I've watched it over a couple of times actually, and I remember speaking to you actually while it was when I was watching it with some surprises.
Yeah, it was one of those it's one of those events where it's fight week and you get those butterfly feelings in your stomach, the excitement and the curiosity of what's going to happen.
He
That's
threw a
the
leg.
feeling I was
He threw
getting.
a head kick. The man is a
I
monster, and he threw a head
know.
kick. And I just had to text you. I had to text. I was watching it. I was like, "Oh my lord, this
I know.
and it connected so well. Imagine
It's
that.
mad. It
It's
was crazy.
like
But
swinging a tree at someone's head.
before we get to it, let's just start with the Sean O'Malley fight against
Sean
Thomas
O'Malley.
Almeida.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Sugar Show returns. Nearly had not one but a two walk-off finish against Thomas Almeida, but it was a very entertaining fight. I felt Sean O'Malley, his striking was so crisp and his movement was so fluid. It was unbelievable. But let's just quickly break it down. So in the first round, he lands a nasty head kick, which stuns Almeida, and then follows up with a left hook, which sent him straight to the mat. And Mali walks away, assuming the fight was over. Did you see that bit where he just walks off?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyone else would think that as well because the connection was there. It was such a good shot. Well, both of them were great
Yeah,
shots. To Almeida to get up after that, even like the commentators are like, "How is this guy still fighting?" And
yeah,
yeah, like you said, very dangerous
yeah. I
fight
think
first round.
Almeida was just like I'm not. He wasn't going to go out that quick. So then he got back up. The fight continued for a bit, and then it got to the third round. Then a similar situation happened where he dropped him again with a left hook, and then he sort of done like a judo throw straight to the floor. And then he walks off
Unbelievable.
again, and then realizes the fight wasn't over. Then he just leaps over him and lands a hard, brutal right hand, which just knocks him to out of space.
I thought his hand was going to go through the mat.
Oh no! I swear his head banged off the canvas as well.
Yeah, it was over then. Night night, sleep tight.
Yeah,
It was really
that
that
was
was
it
a
was
lush
it was
shot.
brutal shot. It was the sound of it as well.
Yeah, boom, and just just continued and echoed throughout the arena. But no, very good performance throughout. I knew he was exciting. Obviously, unfortunately, getting injured last
Yeah,
fight and everything like that it does make you want to obviously perform a lot better, and that's what he's done. He's not disappointed. The fighter is very exciting, and we're going to see him through the UFC for ages.
100%. He's a very good, definitely a big prospect to watch in the future. I'm so glad that he's back in the winning column. And he's healthy again. He doesn't seem to have any problems with that leg anymore. So yeah, it was a great fight to see. And then moving on to the co-main event, we had the return of the chosen one, Tyron Woodley, taking on a top 10 fighter, Vicente Luque. So leading up to this fight, I said to you on the last episode, didn't I? I said
Yeah,
Tyron needs to get aggressive. He needs to come forward, stop using the back of the cage,
adapt.
and
Yeah,
adapt. Yeah, adapt. And he did exactly that. He came out aggressive, more than we've ever seen him before. He came out throwing bombs against Luque, and then one of them managed to land behind the ear, which stuns Luque, putting him on wobbly legs. And then Luque just lands a perfect counter right hook, which just completely changed the fight. Woodley just gets hurt bad, and he's falling over the place. He goes into survival mode. He's just swinging for the fences and trying to survive. There was a point where the referee almost stopped the fight as well, and then somehow it just carried on. Then Luque lands another hook, which sends Woodley to the mat. and then Luque just gets him in a nasty darce choke, and there was no way out for Woodley. He couldn't move. He was just stuck in that position. And he wasn't reacting either.
No, no.
And
We did discuss this last week. We didn't know who was going to win, did we?
we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know if Woodley was going to come out all guns blazing, or the other guy just literally would come out and beat him because he's the same old Woodley. So
Yeah,
yeah, top props. Good fight though. I enjoyed that too. It's
and my
just enjoyed it.
and my prediction was right. I did predict Luque to beat Kyle Woodley by TKO,
I
but
yeah,
he won by submission.
my prediction was wrong, unfortunately, but oh well.
But I've really liked the new game plan by Woodley. I like that he's coming out and taking risk rather than just getting picked apart. So
He's not in the
um,
UFC anymore. Am I right? He's
I'm not
out of
sure.
contract. I heard
There's,
that he's
there's
out of contract.
yeah, there's. Oh, have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that he's like free of contract now, so he doesn't know what to do.
I think he'll be released. I think they won't renew it because he's lost 3 in a row.
They're quite tight on that, aren't they?
They can be, yeah. They like to keep only the best in the UFC. If you lose too many, they'll let you go.
Does that mean Connor goes next?
If you lose to Poirier, it's very possible, but they might keep him just because of the money side of it.
Imagine
Imagine if he gets sacked for losing 3 times.
he'll go straight to boxing. Surely
Yeah, 100%. He'll make more money there, wouldn't he?
he'd make massive money. Might have to
But
fight a chump like Jake Paul
yeah, can you imagine?
or like Logan Paul, Conor McGregor.
Yeah. But yeah, unbelievable performance by Vicente Luque. Taken out a ranked 7 fighter, puts him a step closer to the title. Calls out Nate Diaz in his post interview, which is interesting.
Silly, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
silly man. But yeah, let's see what
this is a
happens.
good matchup.
Yeah, it's a good
I reckon.
matchup. Two big contenders going for that. That's good. I like that. It's when Diaz needs to get in the ring again.
He does. He needs to get
I know he doesn't
active.
like UFC at the moment and the people around him, but he needs to get back in fighting. We all miss him.
We do. When he's fighting, it's always exciting.
Yeah, he always brings that kind of element of surprise to everything as well.
Yeah, I just
He's
love the
just,
personality.
he's just that kind of guy. He either
Yeah.
doesn't care or he cares so much. But yeah, he is a big name that just always needs to be in UFC, I think.
Yeah, I think the UFC wouldn't be the same about the Diaz brothers. I think they got to have them.
Imagine if his brother came back,
Oh, that'd be amazing.
but he
I don't know
won't.
what he'd be like.
He'd never come back, I don't think.
No, I don't know. He
I
doesn't
think
seem to be.
too much
His head's not
time
in it.
gone past now that I don't know. I just don't think it's going to happen. We've got to love
Hopefully.
it, but yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm staying positive.
Like a Legends fight or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Robbie.
Robbie Lawler, the rematch.
Yeah, the rematch that we've all waited for like 30 years.
That would be good. And then moving on to the main event, we had Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou 2. The fight that I had been waiting for so long. I was so excited. James, I could hear it in my heart, like you could hear it in my voice. Like I was just so excited. My heart was pounding fast. It was one of those fights when Bruce Buffer's doing the announcing, and your heart rate just keeps getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
Just the tension, the anticipation, the two giants staring at each other from across the cage, knowing what they're capable of. It was just one of those magical.
Did you think that Stipe looked himself? He looked
smaller.
He looked very small. That's what
He
I
lost
thought.
30. He was 30 pounds less than Ngannou.
I thought he did come in light. I
Yeah,
saw him and I thought that you're not the same Stipe structure that I'm like
yeah,
used to seeing, but obviously you wanted to come in light. Maybe that was like a problem in the fight. Maybe he came in too
maybe.
light. I'm not sure because obviously he lost the fight. And does he get a rematch or?
I think what the plan was, they expected Ngannou to come out like a wild man, like he did in Rosenstrike, and just throw everything for the bleachers, and then gas himself out. And then Stipe would use because he's lost weight, he would use the speed to keep away from the power, and then pick him apart in the later rounds. But the complete opposite happened.
he was really really good at like preserving energy, like reserving his energy, keeping
Yeah,
going, and like just he knew. I think he learned from his mistakes on his last fights, when there's big fights anyway,
yeah.
that he
But
can't do the one
well,
knockout.
when they were looking at each other from across the cage, you could see that killer look in his eye. That's that seeking revenge from their last battle. And then the fight starts, and then I was expecting Ngannou to come out like a bull, but he didn't. He was so calm. He was collective. His striking was really accurate. Like going back to the Rosenstrike fight, he missed like 9 strikes and just he managed to catch him with like 2 punches. But this fight, he was landing pretty much all his strikes compared to his previous performances. And yeah,
It
he,
just was a great show. He just performed really really well. He obviously outdid Stipe. The shots he showed that, yeah, you're a bit more preserved, but like the power was there. Not all of it, but the power was there. Some of the
what about
shots
that?
he took clean. Yeah,
What about that overhand that he landed and Stipe
yeah.
just took it?
I don't know how he did
Like
that.
most men would have been out by that point.
Yeah, it did look nasty. I didn't know how he kept on his feet, but just obviously experience shone through, really, didn't it?
Yeah, and then Stipe went for a double leg, and Gunnar just stuffs it with a
How,
beautiful
yeah,
sprawl.
yeah, he doesn't normally do that, you know. Like
No,
takedown defense is normally a problem.
he learned that from Usman. That's what I was telling you last week.
What
He's got Usman in his corner, and I think that's what's helped him big time with his wrestling game.
Yeah, because I think Guzman, he also is quite a calm character in the ring, isn't he? He's not like the Masvidal with the flying knees and stuff like that. He is like the calm, like take the control of the fight and stuff like that. So I think that's
Yeah.
probably where he learned it from.
And I don't know if you agree with me or our listeners as well, but I don't know if when Ngannou was on the ground with Stipe and he transitioned to he went round behind him and started hitting him with ground and pound. I had like a Brock Lesnar flashback because Brock Lesnar was when he fought Frank Mir, he was also like really fast for a heavyweight and he was able to spin around quite quickly on the ground. And Ngannou gave me that same look.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from. Obviously, bit two big men, for using their attributes of speed as well as
Mm.
obviously their power and strength. So yeah, I could see obviously the comparisons. What a fight that would be! Wow,
Oh, yeah. 100. That's a
wow,
dream
wow.
fight there, isn't it?
That's another one.
And
But no,
then what was it? Yeah, as he got him down, then he managed to get some hard sledgehammer ground and pound. Stipe gets up, and then he lands a hard head kick as well, which I'd never seen before happen from Ngannou. That was a first for me, seeing him land that head kick.
yeah, I like I said, I had to text you as soon as I heard it. I saw it. I was like, I did not see that coming. It looked like he was going to touch the floor with the right hand, and then came up with the left. And I was like, "Where have you
Yeah,
learnt that from?"
I
He's-
know.
I know, like that is incredible. Like how he done
My
that. Such a big bloke.
my my question is, how did he survive the first round? So on official on the records, he's the only man to survive the first round with Ngannou. That's now official on the records, but it
Wow.
was short lived. It was short lived when the second round began. Garno lands a left jab which drops Stipe, follows up with some strikes. Stipe lands a right hook against Ngannou, stumbles him backwards a little bit, and then Ngannou just counters with a left hook, and he just went out cold. And then he just lands a nasty hammer fist while he was already unconscious, just to stamp the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, that's the one thing I did see when obviously they were trading blows. That shot from Stipe, it did rock him.
Yeah,
It did rock him. It wasn't like a bad. Ngannou was in trouble for 2 seconds, but he must have just swallowed
then
it. And just
he just
just an
counted him.
act of obviously focus and adrenaline just wore it and
Yeah,
threw the shot that he wanted to do. Or if
and
he
now
planned to do that, that's incredible. Planning to get a shot from Stipe like that, and then just going, "Oh, he's going to be open now," and just fire a punch afterwards. It's incredible.
yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a really entertaining fight, and it was just one of those fights you didn't know who was going to win because it was just whoever lands first is just going to go out. But I very enjoyed it. in his post-fight interview, John Jones tweeted, "Show me the money, baby." So he's obviously interested in the fight with Ngannou, but he wants some more money if he takes the fight.
Yeah, wouldn't you? He's going to get hurt. He's going to get real
Dana
hurt.
White,
So you've got to be
Dana
careful.
White, be careful what?
You've got to be careful of the man. Do you know what I mean? He could break you.
Yeah,
Imagine
it's very true.
losing the legacy. You have to get some more money, surely.
Yeah, Dana White was saying in his interview afterwards, he was saying John Jones should think about moving back down to 185 instead of 260.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you could.
And then John Jones tweeted back on why he was at the interview. He tweeted saying, "I didn't gain all this weight for no reason." And then
Yeah,
Donna
true.
was like, "Okay."
He is
Donna was like,
big.
"Okay."
He is big.
He's huge. He's
He's
huge
a
now.
lot bigger now, like weight wise. I see you do lots of weightlifting and stuff like that. It's huge. Big guy now.
Yeah.
But like he's a legend. Can't wait
So
for
there were some arguments with the matchmakers today between John Jones and the matchmakers. I believe he was talking to Hunter, who's one of the matchmakers, and I believe the deal didn't go through. So there's another meeting scheduled next week where they're going to do a fight negotiation. I believe Dana will be involved in that one, I think it's about more money, which makes sense. But if for any reason this fight doesn't happen, Derek Lewis will be next in line to face Ngannou.
that. Whoa.
Yeah,
That is a great fight.
yeah. So either way, we're going to get a good fight for his first title defense, and then we need to think what's going to happen with Stipe. Does he come back and have an immediate title shot when he's ready, or does he retire? We don't know.
Yeah, who knows now? That is a difficult situation to ask for. One of the things is
Yeah,
Derek Lewis he's got to change his game because he does allow too many shots to be taken
yeah,
in a fight. So you think he's not taking shots from Ngannou quite nicely, is he? So I don't know. He might have to adapt a bit more to being
hundred
a bit
percent.
more closed, a bit more block, like concentrate on blocking and lots of stuff like that.
I believe he needs to gain more weight as well if he plans to fight Ngannou.
Well, weight is difficult, isn't it? Because it's more structure. Do you know what I mean? Like muscle.
Well, I was just thinking in that
He's quite a big
Ngannou was just
guy
throwing him
already.
around. So
Yeah, he was
yeah,
throwing him
massive.
around like a toy, actually.
That's what I'm saying. He had the massive weight advantage. Yeah, he was 30 pounds heavier. So Stipe needs to gain the extra weight. But Derek Lewis, he's naturally heavy, so he's a perfect matchup.
Yeah,
John Jones, I don't know how much he currently weighs. We'll have to see when they get on the scales. But both fights are very intriguing for me.
yeah, both of them very exciting. What's
Yeah.
happening next week? Any fights next week?
There's no UFC schedule for next week. The week after, we've got the Darren Till versus Vittori fight, but we'll cover that on our next episode for the fight breakdown. But that's all from me for the UFC side.
Any
Shall
news
we?
on before you go? Any news on Conor McGregor next fight, maybe, or anything like that? Any big fights on the way?
McGregor is scheduled to fight Justin Poirier on July 10th
Right.
for
Okay.
the trilogy fight. That's now confirmed. We've also got some news. Misha Tate's now returning to the UFC as well,
Cool. That's
which is
cool.
good news. She's hoping to get that rematch with Amanda Nunes,
Wow.
so
That'd be a
that'd be
good
very
fight.
interesting. Yeah. The
No
Usman
other.
Masvidal fight is going ahead soon, which should be interesting.
Yeah, all good. Yeah. Yeah. Wicked. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So
All good.
on to boxing, I guess.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we've been spoilt for choice this weekend. We've had both, obviously, the BT Sports card, and we've also had the Matchroom card. First card that I'll speak about is Dillan Whyte and Povetkin 2. That's all what we were really looking forward to last weekend, and it didn't
Yes.
disappoint. Obviously, we love to see a heavyweight clash, and we also love to see knockouts, and that's what happened. So, yeah, Dillian Whyte has now the WBC interim world heavyweight title holder. So he's knocked him out in the fourth round. There were big shots all fight. He didn't really play any games at all this time. He didn't want to calm. Like he did exactly what he did last time, but he didn't take his foot off the gas. He literally controlled the fight completely, threw
Push the pace.
shots. Povetkin looked quite tired after the second round. To be fair, looked like the gas was squeezed out of him. But yeah, I loved the fight. I thought it was good. Dillan Whyte still shows sluggish movements for me. He does
Do you
throw
reckon?
his arms all over the place. Not as controlled as obviously the likes of AJ and other fighters, Tyson Fury and stuff like that. He is quite sluggish, I would say, but still unbelievable power. And obviously, what did you think, Sam?
I thought it was amazing. So for me, it was a highly anticipated rematch for me, and I believe for fight fans as well. But I truly believe Dillian Whyte looked like his old self in that
Didn't he
fight
just?
because he's
Yeah,
known to be wild,
yeah,
and I felt like the old Dillian came out that on the night, and I felt that gave me some memories, like when going back to the AJ fight when they had that crazy war. Dillian Whyte was just throwing wild, and that sort of gave me the same familiarities in this one.
yeah. Like I'm
But
saying, he's obviously like I said, he's not sluggish. It's more. You are right. It's more the word wild than sluggish. He's like a animal locked in a cage, ready to go.
just a slugger.
Just wanted to slug,
Yeah,
like
he, he he
the
was there.
Chazoras and of the world and the
Yeah,
Tysons and stuff like that. They're just so wild and so take it to the boxer. So it's good.
yeah,
So
yeah. He went there. He went there prepared for war. Like you can see it in his eyes, and from the very beginning, he lands some stunning strikes,
he
which
did,
stunned Povetkin. He was falling over the place in the first round,
yeah, like
swinging with overhands and everything. It was crazy. And then, yeah, now he's back on the title path, right, for the WBC.
so. Yeah, next is more the likes of Ruiz, Wilder. Obviously, the two, if it is true, Tyson Fury and AJ are going to be booked up for two fights, so he won't be able to fight but any of them. Might fight Usyk. So
Oh, that'd be interesting.
we're talking big games now, aren't we? Big fights, sorry, big
Yeah,
fight.
he's in the big league.
Yeah, these are the next ones now. They're saying about Povetkin maybe retiring. Who knows?
Really?
Yeah, they're not sure. They're not
Mm,
sure. It's up to him, isn't it? Really, how he wants to do with it. If he wants to continue at the level he'll be at, because
yeah.
there's like a bit of a divide now. There's obviously the prospects, the people that have been around for a while, they like the elites. So and people are floating in between each one, aren't they?
I believe I think the best fight to make right now would be Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder for the interim WBC title, and the winner of that fights the winner of AJ Fury. I think that's how it should go.
Yeah, sounds great. No, that to
I
me
think as a
sounds
fan, that would be great.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, people on the card as well. Person that actually fights, I believe, in the same gym and with the same trainers, Fabio Wildly versus Eric Molina. So here, Fabio now is 11 fights and no losses, 10 knockouts. This guy looks the real deal. Fifth round knockout, literally first time he's been tested in a proper fight.
Yeah,
When it comes to obviously the it's like a 10 fight threshold, isn't it? You don't
it
really
was.
know who
Yeah,
you're going to fight in the first 10, and then you start going into like the rankings and you start going up higher and higher. But no, Fabio looks very decent. What did you see the fight?
I saw the fight. I believe Molina tried. He was. It was a quite easy fight for him at the beginning, and then I felt that he got hit quite hard in the fifth round, and that got his attention, and that's when he just went crazy and knocked him out.
He did say that was the hardest he's ever been punched.
Yeah,
So that's obviously good to show that he can actually take a punch as well, but
yeah, he
also
took the
like
punch, and
knows when someone hits hard, he hits hard.
yeah,
But Dillan White saying after the fights and stuff like that on interviews with Sky, he was saying that he has like the aura of invincibility. How good does that sound? An aura
That
of
sounds crazy.
invincibility. That sounds
That does sound
unbelievable.
crazy. Yeah.
Apparently, like he's never lost a round in the gym, never's been hurt, never been dropped. He's just never been outboxed. He's won every round of every fight he's ever been in. So
He's
like,
definitely
and
uh, he's definitely got the look. He's got the skills, and he definitely performs every time.
yeah, one of the things is as well, he hasn't had that much of an amateur fight background as well. He's gone through more of the like white collar boxing fights and bits and bobs like that,
Okay.
being picked up, and like people said that he could be really good, and then is trained and like not really had amateur fights really. So it's good to see. It is good. I like that kind of fighter. He's always had it in him,
He's definitely someone to keep an eye on. I'll definitely be looking forward to his next performance.
and he pretty much on every matchroom boxing fights card ever. So yeah, like the one that was in the back garden. He was in that. He's in the big cards, main cards. So it's good to see.
Who do you think's next for him?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I can't think of the levels. Uh, I don't know if they'd want to put him against Dubois because Dubois might be scared of him in some ways. Might be
No,
scared of each other. So who knows? It's going to be
that'd be
quite
good.
good though,
That'd be a good fight though.
wouldn't
To
it?
buy him.
Yeah. So all that Gorman, some
Yeah,
people that Dubois fought, maybe you would have that kind of go that route as well, and maybe like channel through with like maybe fight some people from Frank Warren's cards and stuff like that. Who knows? Back onto the card, Ted Cheeseman, what a legend,
oh my
versus
god, that
JJ
fight.
Metcalf. Uh, Cheeseman was absolutely amazing.
That
I
fight
don't know
was
why I
crazy.
personally love the geezer as well. I've never met him in my life, but I love him. Um, he's just got that resilience. He's got that burning sensation that he just wants to win and be his best. And like in his press conference afterwards and stuff like that, he was saying, I've like tonight I've won them fight, but I've also fought my inner demons." And I was like, "You are a true legend." So that
100%.
he is now obviously British super welterweight title. He holds that British super welterweight, which is
Yeah.
great. Obviously a knockout in the 11th round. Never really. It's obviously it's
The closing seconds of the round as well.
closing. Yeah. So you think the resilience within a fight. Obviously, when it gets to the 11th and 12th round, you've got obviously your muscles are burning, you're
Yeah.
blowing out, your mouth guards hanging out your mouth. It's like the war is there, isn't it? It's the dark stages of a fight,
Well, for
especially
me,
how it's been going. Um, it went
yeah,
Cheeseman, Metcalf. It was non-stop, wasn't it?
100%. It was one of those. It's one of those things where it wasn't a boxing match. It was a fight, and they went to fight. It was a war, and they're now saying it's one of the fight of the year contenders for one of the best fights of the year so far.
I thought his other one was as well. The one in the
Yeah,
back garden. I thought that was unbelievable.
yeah.
So every time Cheeseman fights, he's just there, and
He
he's great.
he brings the war every time.
It's always
Very exciting.
it's always dramatic as well. It's always I like to see. Gets
I
me
love it.
going.
Yeah, it gets your adrenaline going.
Yeah,
What a good appetizer as well before the main event.
because Metcalf showed resilience as well. To be fair, because
Oh, he took
he nearly got knocked out in the 4th round. Yeah,
Yeah, he took unbelievable shots, and he was able to come back and still give it his all as well. They were both just emptying everything they had against each other in that corner. I believe it was the 7th round. They was in the corner, and they was just throwing, proper phone booth fighting.
yeah, I love that. It's so cool. Yeah, it is up there with contender for the fight of the year.
Yeah,
Completely in my eyes, it was great.
and mate, what about Campbell Hatton making his pro debut?
Love this. Right, this is what I love seeing. Yeah. So I watched the documentary about Campbell Hatton. It's
Hmm.
on Sky at the moment. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube, Sam. I know you don't have it. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like literally, it's called Blue Moon Rising. So
Blue Moon.
because Ricky Hatton's a massive Man City fan, right, and all of Manchester love Ricky Hatton. Like he's gone the same route as his dad Campbell. He has the same walkout song. He wears the same tops and he wears
Yeah,
the same colours. And it's like a tribute to his dad, which is unbelievable, which I love.
it was a
Um,
really good walkout. I
wasn't
felt.
it? You felt it, didn't you? You're like the first
Yeah,
one. His dad's in tears. It's just amazing. It's just such a feeling.
yeah.
I like the fact that I don't know if you know this, but his uncle also used to fight as well. I think it's Martin or Matthew Hatton, I believe. It was
Matthew Hatton.
Magic Hatton, and that's his uncle. So he used to fight. His dad used to fight. It's just incredible, like the family and it all together, all like not obviously putting pressure on him and stuff like that, but it's great. It
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, you're right. I just looked him up. It's Matthew
yeah,
Hatton, and he was 52-7.
not bad, is it? Really, these are hard
Oh,
men.
sorry, I got that wrong. 43-7,
Yeah,
but still good. Great career.
yeah. He looked in the fight. He won on points. Obviously, played safe certain ways. Looked nervous in the beginning, but he outshone. He kept going. He was too strong for him as well. It looked like in some ways.
Those body
Um,
shots.
Body shots, yeah. They actually criticised him with using too many body shots.
No,
Uh,
I thought that was his most effective move in the fight.
it was effective. Yeah, that is great. Yeah, but he didn't mix it. Apparently, Ricky was like, yeah, he could have changed the game up a little bit, maybe got the knockout or stoppage or something like that, just due to the fact that it was great though. He was amazing. I'm not taking that away. That just obviously is something that he just will train on. But yeah,
Yeah,
Campbell being on there is just unbelievable. Obviously, following his dad's footsteps, but I want him to not follow so much. I want him to be his own person, like Conor Ben. He's
yeah, that
unbelievable.
will come in. That will come in time.
Yeah, Conor Ben
I-
obviously is just
yeah,
up there. You've got Chris Eubank Jr., which unfortunately his dad has been in his career a lot and kind of taken quite a lot of it away from him. But yeah, you've obviously got some great legends, kids coming out and performing greatly.
100%. I mean, at the moment, he's more of a shadow of Ricky Hatton, but I believe once he starts claiming his own, he's getting his own titles and he's in big fights himself, and then he will become his own. Uh, what's the right word for it? You know
Individual,
what I mean? His
individual.
own star.
Yeah, his own like yeah. He has his own name.
Yeah,
Good.
that's what I meant.
So continuing with young up and coming fighters, there's this one that caught my eye this week called Dennis McCann. He has a great nickname as well, Dennis the Menace McCann. I think that's unbelievable.
Great name.
That is a great name, isn't it? It's so good. He's starting to,
Dennis.
yeah, starting to have a big social following. He won on points against Luis Moreno, which was a
Yeah.
Mexican kid that come along, same kind of records. Obviously, Mexicans have that kind of spiteful mentality, like that war mentality. Came
Mm,
across overseas, obviously didn't know who he was fighting in a bantamweight fight.
yeah.
Looked really good,
Good southpaw
literally
fighter.
really, really good fighter. 20 years old, nine wins, 5 knockouts. He's just got that
It's a good record.
likable character. He wants to obviously just prove that like the gypsy kind of traveller kind of situation doesn't mean that he's and who he is and who his family is. He just literally does what he needs to do. He actually said I watched like an interview with him from BT Sport, and he's like, I don't do the bare knuckle fighting. I leave that to other people. I get paid for it in the ring, so I might as well do it there. So I like that mentality. It's just like
Good attitude.
drops out of school at 11 years old, and people are like tipping him to be the future world champion. So he's great news. I love him. I think he's quality. If you can
And he's only
if you can watch him on social media, do because he is good.
and he's only 20 years old. He's got a long way to go. He
Yeah,
hasn't even started.
he's great. He is really good. Yeah, and I think he has flair. He said like little things like he wants to be the GGG of bantamweight. Like stuff like that. He said like loads of things that are really funny, but he just seems to be like a top bloke.
It's like a mini superstar in
Yeah,
the making.
yeah, definitely. He's not shy of a camera, which is good. Um,
Yeah.
David Al Aldelay. Alderley. He fought Dave Preston, knocked him out. Now 5 wins, 5 knockouts, heavyweight. Looks up and coming. Looks exciting. Uh, Felt sorry for Dave Preston, to be fair, because that was his first pro fight. It was a late
Yeah,
replacement, and it was really hard, like a really hard first fight. It was really like this bloke is massive. The first fight, obviously, you got your nerves and stuff like that, and this guy's
yeah.
coming off beating four quite good fighters. Last one was Whitaker, which I think I've heard the name before, and he knocked him out as well. And it's just like hard first day at school, if you know what I mean.
They kind of threw him into the lions, didn't they? And he's
But unfortunately, yeah, it just ended up with a knockout, which is great. It's obviously we love seeing English boxers, we love seeing heavyweights, like we said. 5 knockouts, 5 wins, keep that going. I like that. Um, another card that was on there was BT Sport card, Hutchinson versus Clark. I've never heard of this before, but I think it's more of a Commonwealth CBC. So it's the CBC Commonwealth Super Middleweight Championship.
hmm
Clark wins on a technical knockout in the fifth round. I didn't watch too much of the fight. I thought it was okay. It wasn't obviously the best fight, but obviously it was two back and forth. They were good at going at each other, which was good. There was no like boring parts at all. Clark was the clear winner in my eyes on the fifth round. He just started
yeah.
unloading, and I don't think Hutchinson really knew what he was coming against when he didn't know how to play. He didn't know how to like really go against him when he started going forward quite harshly, which was great. Clark did really, really well, and obviously deserves a win.
Some people said that it was a bit of an early stoppage because he apparently got up to his feet at the count of four, but the referee waved it off anyway.
He did take a little bit of onslaught
Mm,
in the fight. Obviously, referee's call's a referee's call. Really, it's not. You can't really argue it.
no,
Sometimes it can be an early one. It's just we can't see what he looks like, can we? Like his eyes. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't like. I don't like giving it against the. I don't like giving jip against the referees at all because they're trying to save people's lives. If he went,
yeah,
if he was literally nearly dying, you'd obviously say to the ref as well, "Why aren't you not stopping this fight?" And then if you stop it early, why are you stopping this fight? It's like literally, I'd hate to be a ref. It'd be so hard just to judge, wouldn't you?
100%. It's a tough job because every fight's different, and you have to make a split-second decision there and there.
It's your instinct, isn't it? Straight away, you're
Yeah,
feeling your instinct. Um,
and I don't think he would have come back from it. I think Clark did a really good job, very sharp if he's striking.
I think Clark would
You,
have just gone for it a lot
so,
harder and knocked him out
yeah,
properly. And then with no one, I don't think anyone wanted to see that because he was on he was on last legs. He wasn't. I don't think he was knocked out completely. I think you could have gave him to the count of 8, had him a couple of deep breaths and gone again. But I don't think he's going to win the fight. I just think he's going to get knocked down again. Do
yeah.
you know what I
It
mean?
was, it was better to stop the fight to prevent him getting extra damage that he would have got.
Yeah. So the other fight on that card was actually someone I mentioned earlier was the Gorman versus Sauer.
Yeah,
Um, Gorman showed his spiteful side, which was good because recently he has been playing it quite safe. He's now on 18 wins, 12 knockouts, and his only loss is to Dubois. So he's doing well for himself. He is doing very well for himself. He's strong. He can throw himself around. He's a big lad. But I just obviously keep going and keep fighting the right people. But obviously Dubois, I think, is a special lad.
yeah.
Um,
He's a
he
different
will
breed.
he will come back stronger. But yeah, Gorman, good fighter, good fight. Really enjoyed
Good
it.
turn, good turnaround, winning by technical knockout in the second round.
Second round is just not. It's obviously It's not like a 13-second knockout as well. He's obviously planned that and showed that he's got some power in those hands, and obviously took him out quite quickly. But yeah, that's the great fights. Obviously, that's what great skills boxers have, isn't it? Really, when they switch to an
That's
animal, don't they?
that's it. And I believe age was a big factor in it as well. He had a massive age uh, advantage over the 38-year-old Sauer.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Sauer has to take these fights to remain in obviously contention for fighting up and coming people. But
Sauer came in. I think Sauer came in at 13 wins, and I believe he had 3 losses. 8 of those are by knockout. So he weren't like
yeah,
no joke. He was a legit threat,
yeah,
but Gorman managed to get it done.
yeah, completely. No, it was a good fight. I believe that it wasn't going to go on for long, but it looked good. I don't. It wasn't like obviously one that I've got to get a DVD of, but like it's it's one that obviously was just one of the fights was quite enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
I don't believe there's any fights next week, is there, Sam? I tried to look, but I don't think there is any
no.
special ones to speak about. But
But what we could talk about is, did you watch the Jake Paul Ben Askren press conference?
yes, I did. And do you think Ben's winning the mental game? I don't know.
He was.
I think
I
Ben's
saw
winning the mental game in some ways.
he was. He didn't seem phased in the slightest, and Jake Paul seemed to be getting like the most annoyed
Oh, so
and
annoying.
wound up.
I think he gets like annoyed by himself. Like Ben,
Yeah, because he
like Ben was
talked
just sitting there and stuff like that, and like
just
Jake was just
smiling.
talking. Yeah,
And then the one bit that did get on Ben Askren's nerves, you can see it in his face. He got really annoyed. Is when Masvidal, Jake Paul called him Jorge Masvidal during
yeah.
the press conference, and then Masvidal was like, "Is he? Oh, he's still alive. He's still alive." And Jake Paul was like, "Yeah, he's still alive. I'm gonna finish him off for you." And he's like, "I like those sandals, dude." Or something like that. Or those
Yeah.
flip flops. I like those flip flops, dude.
Yeah,
And Ben Askren just looked like really pissed off. And then
certain
then you had the
comments. Yeah, certain comments. Like Ben Askin said, Jake was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to teach my child, my future child, how to fight and stuff like." That. He goes, "Are they going to let you have a child and stuff like that?" And just, "Oh, you are Logan's brother. Can't remember your name. What's your name? Oh, you're living in Logan's shadows." I was like, "Wow,
yeah, he had some good comebacks on
doing it
that.
quite
And
well."
then Jake Paul showed his highlight of the knockout, the 5 second knockout.
Yeah,
He kept playing it over and over, and he's just like, "Dude, you got knocked out in 5 seconds. Like you got the record for the fastest knockout. Don't that bother you? Don't that bother
to
you?"
be fair, he's got to wear that though, isn't he? And like that would obviously annoy everyone, but he must have seen that so many times.
He said he has. Yeah, he says it doesn't bother him. He says he's quite glad to be a part of that event.
The face push as well.
Oh my god, yeah, that was
I
funny. So
can't believe.
they were supposed to be behind the screen, but then they decided to do an actual face to face one.
Yeah,
And then Baskin just shoved his face out of his face, and then Jake Paul quickly reacts with a slap to the stomach, I think it was, or
it looked
maybe
like a punch, but it wasn't a punch. It was
yeah,
more of a fist slap. I've never
more
heard
of
one of them before.
and then he tried to push Ben Askren, but he didn't even budge him,
Yeah,
not really.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. KSI saying on YouTube at the moment, he's like, I just can't wait for Ben to knock him out, and if he doesn't, then I'll have to. I was like, yeah, go on, KSI. I don't obviously. I don't. I'm still not into this whole reality stars YouTube and
No,
fighting each
I'm not.
other and it being on top pay per view. Okay, they can fight each other, and it's quite
Yeah,
enjoyable to watch. But being on like the most watched boxing fight in history, you're like, oh
he won't be. He
no,
won't
but it
be.
is, isn't it? It's going to be like obviously Logan Paul was massive. They made so much money. They had Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard.
But I think you got to draw the line. This is what I was saying. I was talking with my dad recently about this, and we were saying YouTubers should only fight YouTubers, and boxers should only fight boxers, or fighters should only fight fighters. You can't put a YouTuber with an MMA fighter who's been doing it for all his life. Jake Paul is famous because of what he did on YouTube, not because of his fighting skills. I mean, yeah, he's got a certificate saying he's a now professional fighter, and he's shown that he can fight. But the people who he's beaten were not like elite level.
Yeah. But this is the problem
And
because he might win.
what's that? Who, Jake Paul?
Jake Paul might win. I saw like he looks quite handy, and Ben Askren's not like the most highest puncher. So
Well, Ben
like,
Askren's he's got zero boxing experience.
yeah.
He's known for his wrestling. So
So this is the problem we're gonna have. Jake Paul might actually win, and then like someone serious will have to come up and fight him, and then that'll be massive, massive news. Big, then Jake's head's gonna get even bigger if he beats an actual MMA fighter. It's like me going and beating bloody Dubois. Just like it just like makes no sense.
Oh no,
It'll never happen. But yeah, I'm just saying. Don't listen to this, Dubois. I don't want it. I'm not calling you out.
And what do you think about Oscar De La Hoya coming out of retirement?
Oh, all these people that are coming out of retirement is scaring me.
I know.
Someone's
It's
going to die
crazy.
soon. Like
They will.
like they're like 58 years old. Like they're just 50, 48, 50s, 70s.
How old is Oscar De La Hoya now?
I don't have a clue.
I think he's 58.
Yeah,
Let me
just dangerous. I don't know why. It's just dangerous in my eyes.
I don't know how they get the license to do it.
Yeah, some Swedish doctor is like getting paid like millions of pounds or something like that. Just a real old Albanian doctor they've seen once, and they said, "Yeah,
He's not that. Oh, he's only 48,
yeah, I thought so."
and he's going to be fighting in July.
It's
3rd of July.
It's Holyfield that's 58. Holyfield
Yes.
that's fighting.
Yeah, you're right.
Tyson 58. Jeez.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
Crazy fight.
No, it just proves that they just can't stay away from the sport. They love the fight game too much. They missed that buzz of walking to the ring,
Definitely,
and just going for it.
nice. Well, Sam, I think we've come to an end.
We have.
So
Great episode.
We're gonna get some more viewing, get some more listeners soon. I hear we're gonna get more social on Facebook and start posting more things up, and hopefully you carry on listening to us and enjoying our show. If you do love our show, get it out there. Put a share on your likes and share, likes, whatever, comments. It'll help us out massively. Don't you agree, Sam?
100%. It'd be a massive help for us, and we appreciate it very much.
Right. Love you lots.
Speak to you all soon. See you next week.
See you next
for the next
week.
episode.
Bye, mate. Bye.
See you later. Bye.